The following is a Red Apple Podcast Network presentation.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it.
Welcome to Dominic Carter's podcast. This is Dominic Carter's City Hall. Now, here's Dominic Carter.
Red Apple Podcast Talk Radio 77 WABC. You can listen to me, Dominic Carter, weeknights at midnight, Sundays at 11 p.m. President Biden, former President Trump going at it in Georgia, only 60 miles apart.
Here's a guy who's kicking off his general election campaign on the road up with Marjorie Taylor Greene. It can tell you a lot about a person who he keeps company with. And yesterday he was hosting at his club Viktor Orban, who says he doesn't think democracy works. Call him a fantastic leader. When he says he wants to be a dictator, I believe him. Folks, it's not hyperbole to suggest our freedoms are literally on the ballot this November.
And, of course, Trump fired away the family of Laken Riley that passed on attending the State of the Union address. An invitation from their local congressman met with Donald Trump in Georgia and attended the Trump rally.
Laken Riley would be alive today if Joe Biden had not willfully and maliciously eviscerated the borders of the United States and set loose thousands and thousands of dangerous criminals into our country. But if you're a disillusioned Democrat, of which there are many today, I extend an open hand, an open invitation, and I ask you to join us on the noble quest of saving our country, saving our country. Together, we will turn the page forever on the miserable nightmare of the Biden presidency.
But if you want to know why Trump is leading in the polls, his ability to resonate with Americans, to understand our pain, to get it. Case in point, Trump issued the quote of quotes when he said, Biden should be apologizing for apologizing to this killer. As I predicted, the Laken Riley issue was quickly going to be a top one in the presidential race, as it should. A 22-year-old nursing student in Georgia brutally murdered allegedly by someone who was not even supposed to be in the country. So the President of the United States, the President of the United States of America, doesn't mention Laken Riley, and when he's forced to do so at the State of the Union address by Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, he mispronounces Laken Riley's name. And then 48 hours later, apologizes for referring to the alleged killer as an illegal and says he should have said instead undocumented. But it begs the question, where is the apology for the family of Laken Riley for her brutal murder on his watch? President Biden apologized on MSNBC.
I noticed the look of surprise on your face when you walked into the chamber and you saw Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was priceless. You feigned shock at seeing her. But during your response to her heckling of you, you used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented. And look, when I spoke about the difference between Trump and me, one of the things I talked about on the border was that the way he talks about vermin, the way he talks about these people polluting the blood. I talked about what I'm not going to do, what I won't do. I'm not going to treat any of these people with disrespect. Look, they built the country. The reason our economy is growing. We have to control the border and more orderly flow, but I don't share his view at all.
So you regret using that word?
Yes.
But then the White House tries to clean up the mess What we saw with our own eyes and heard with our own ears did not happen. A spokeswoman for the president, Olivia Dalton.
First of all, I want to be really clear about something. The president absolutely did not apologize. There was no apology anywhere in that conversation. He did not apologize. He used a different word. I think what we should be really clear about is the facts.
Unbelievable. I can't get over it. The politics of the far left dictate that President Biden apologize for calling the alleged killer of Laken Riley an illegal, and the President of the United States of America corrects himself to use the more friendlier term to the left, undocumented. If one is going to bend over backwards, please do it for an American family. President Biden did release an ad addressing his biggest liability, his age. The spot is part of a $30 million post-State of the Union advertising push in battleground states. Not a bad idea, but it's the equivalent to putting lipstick on a pig.
Look, I'm not a young guy. That's no secret. But here's the deal. I understand how to get things done for the American people. I led the country through the COVID crisis. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world. I passed a law that lowers prescription drug prices, caps insulin at $35 a month for seniors. For 4 years, Donald Trump tried to pass an infrastructure law, and he failed. I got it done. Now we're rebuilding America. I passed the biggest law in history to combat climate change because our future depends on it. Donald Trump took away the freedom of women to choose. I'm determined to make Roe v. Wade the law of the land again. Donald Trump believes the job of the president is to take care of Donald Trump. I believe the job of the president is to fight for you, the American people, and that's what I'm doing. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Can we do one more take?
Look, I'm very young, energetic, and handsome. What the hell am I doing this for?
Okay, a TV commercial. But remember, the murder of Laken Riley is such an explosive issue, it could decide the outcome of the presidential race. This is how everything played out. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene confronting President Biden at his State of the Union address.
I believe that given the opportunity for a majority in the House and Senate would endorse the bill as well, a majority right now. But unfortunately, politics has derailed this bill so far. I'm told my predecessor called members of Congress in the Senate to demand they block the bill. He feels political win, he viewed it as would be a political win for me and a political loser for him. It's not about him, it's not about me. I'd be a winner, not really. Laken Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand. But look, if we change the dynamic at the border, people pay these smugglers $8,000 to get across the border because they know if they get by and let into the country, it's 6 to 8 years before they have a hearing. And it's worth taking the chance of the $8,000. But if it's only 6 weeks, the idea is it's highly unlikely that people will pay that money and come all that way knowing that they'll be able to be kicked out quickly. Folks, I would respectfully suggest my Republican friends owe it to the American people, get this bill done. We need to act now.
Laken Riley would be alive today if Joe Biden had not willfully and maliciously eviscerated the borders of the United States and set loose thousands and thousands of dangerous criminals into our country.
It is hard to believe that Super Tuesday was just 48 hours before the State of the Union address. On that night, President Biden did not address supporters the night of Super Tuesday, but Trump did. Here is a few minutes of what Trump had to say.
Well, thank you very much. They call it Super Tuesday for a reason. This is a big one. And they tell me, the pundits and otherwise, that there's never been one like this. There's never been anything so conclusive. This was an amazing night, an amazing day. It's been an incredible period of time in our country's history. It's been sad in so many ways, but I think it's going to be inspiring because we're going to do something that, frankly, nobody's been able to do for a long time. We've watched our country take a great beating over the last 3 years, and nobody thought a thing like this would be possible. We wouldn't have Russia attacking Ukraine. We wouldn't have Israel being attacked. Iran, as you know, was broke. When I was running things, they were broke. They didn't have money for Hamas. They didn't have money for Hezbollah. We had no inflation. Inflation is destroying the middle class. It's destroying everything. Inflation, if you look back over the history, hundreds of years back, inflation is called a country buster. And that's what it's doing to our country. What's happened with inflation has been unbelievable. A lot of people say, a lot of experts have said the stock market's the only thing that's doing well, and that's doing well because our poll numbers are so much higher than Joe Biden's. He's the worst president in the history of our country. There's never been anything like what's happening to our country. Today it was announced that 325,000 people were flown in from parts unknown. Migrants were flown in airplane, not going through borders, not going through that great Texas barrier that I was with the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, the other day, and we were looking at the job they're doing. But in the meantime, they're pouring into California and they're pouring into Arizona because those governors aren't doing anything. They're doing nothing. But today it was just announced before I came out. It was unbelievable. I said, that must be a mistake. They flew 325,000 migrants, flew them in over the borders into our country. So that really tells you where they're coming from. They want open borders, and open borders are going to destroy our country. We need borders and we need free and fair elections, or we don't have a country. This is an incredible group of people. So many celebrities that I'm not going to introduce any because I'm just going to get myself in trouble if I do that, because I'll leave out most of you. But this is a room chock full of incredible, talented people, like some of the guys standing right in front of me, right? Big futures, big, fat, beautiful futures. Oh, I'd love to be your age. I'd pay you a lot of money to be your age. But we have some tremendously talented people in this room, including tremendously talented political people that have helped me right from the beginning. We had the safest border in the history of our country. We built 571 miles of wall. We had Mexico supply us with 28,000 soldiers because we wanted them, that's why. And they said, we won't do that. I said, yes, you will, you will. And in the end, they did. It was an easy negotiation, but we had the safest border, the best numbers we've ever had, and now we have the worst numbers probably in the history of the world. It's sad to see what's happening to our cities. Our cities are being overrun with migrant crime, and that's Biden migrant crime. But it's a new category of crime, and it's violent, where they'll stand in the middle of a street and have fistfights with police officers, and if they did that in their countries from where they came, they'd be killed instantly. They wouldn't do that. So the world is laughing at us. The world is taking advantage of us. 3 years ago, we were at a level, we were energy independent. We were going to be very shortly energy dominant, and today we're getting oil from Venezuela. Can you believe it? And we're doing numbers on that oil. You know what we're doing? We're refining the oil. We have our refinery for that oil. It's really, I call it tar. It's not oil. It's terrible. We have real stuff. But we're refining it in Houston. So for all of the environmentalists, you ought to look at that, because all of that tar is going right up into the atmosphere. You just ought to take a look. It's the only plant that can do it. We have the only plants that can take tar and make it into oil, and that's what it is. It's a shame. But we were energy independent. We were going to be energy dominant. We were going to be supplying oil to Europe, all over the world, and then a tragic thing happened during the election. It was a tragedy, because you wouldn't have, think of it, all of the problems that you have today, I don't think you would have had any of them. You'd only have success, and that's what's ultimately going to unify this country and unify this party. We have a great Republican Party with tremendous talent, and we want to have unity, and we're going to have unity.
Trump addressing supporters the night of Super Tuesday. So the full general election fall campaign is underway months early, but we cannot wrap up without another important story. This is one of the reasons why I am a strong supporter of the NYPD. A lieutenant saving the life of a suicidal woman who was moments away from jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge. This is the audio from his actual body camera, the body camera of Lieutenant Hak Kim.
Don't do it. Get down, please. Please get down.
Yo, is it? No. LT, just watch out. It's slippery. LT, it's slippery.
Please don't do this. We got you. Don't do this. We're gonna help you out. Don't jump. Don't jump. Trust me. No, we got you. We got you. My name is Lieutenant Kim. Okay. I don't know what kind of trouble you have it. What kind of problem you going through. We're gonna help you out. Save your life. It's not worth it. Trust me. I got 3 kids. Okay, I got 3 kids, all right? I don't know you have a kid, I don't know you married or not, but it's not worth it. We care about you, okay? Don't do this. No. Don't jump. Please. We're gonna help you out. We're gonna help you out. Can you sit on it? Can you sit on it? Sit. Sit on it. Sit on it. Sit on it. Okay.
Watch your step. It's not worth it.
Okay, good. We got you, okay? We got you, okay?
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Thank you, NYPD, for what you do each and every day. The men and women of law enforcement throughout the country. The woman you saved will probably thank you one day as well. And that is all the time we have for this episode. Thank you, folks, for joining us. You can catch me live on 77 WABC, weeknights at midnight, Sundays 11 p.m. Go check out the Dominic Carter merchandise at the 77 WABC store. From Dominic Carter t-shirts to hats and much more, go to WABCRadiostore.com. You can also order my remarkable book on my life of overcoming obstacles that you can't even begin to imagine at the 77 WABC store. It's titled No Mama's Boy. You can also get the book at my website, DominicCarterOnline.com, where the book will be signed by me. Also, follow me on YouTube, where you will see videos from me about the podcast and the radio show, youtube.com/Dominic Carter. We will see you the next time. Dominic Carter, Red Apple Podcast, Talk Radio 77, WABC.
I gotta make it.
Dominic Carter Socials on Twitter at Dominic TV and Facebook and Instagram. Dominic Carter TV. Email at dominic.carter@wabcradio.com. Until the next episode, be well. And as Dominic always says, stay positive. The glass is always half full, never half empty. Dominic Carter City Hall.